Now, next is the effect of noise on animals. The following are the damages caused to the wildlife when the noise is high. That is her first point includes the hearing loss. Second one is the masking. Third one is physiological effects. Fourth one is ecological effects, and then damage to materials. Hearing loss means the animals, when exposed to continuous high noises, can cause to hearing loss. Masking means it is the inability to hear important environmental clues and animal signals. So when wildlife includes different types of animals, so each and every movement of animals are animal signals. The animals, when exposed to continuous noise, may lose the ability for masking. Then physiological effects, it can increase heart rate, respiratory difficulties, and also it can increase the stress. The ecological effects includes the migration of birds, which disturbs the ecosystem. Then damage to the material, the building and material may also get damaged by exposure to high ultrasonic waves, and even the buildings gets collapsed. Then effective noise on plants, high level noise retards the growth of plants. Now, the measurement of sound. Sound is measured with the help of sound level meters. The noise level in decibel is measured with an instrument called as sound level meter. Sound level meter measures sound pressure level and are commonly used in noise pollution studies. So you can see it is a digital meter. The basic parts includes a microphone, an amplifier, a wiring network, and a display reading in decibel. So in order to obtain the intensity of sound, position in a desired location with no obstruction from the source, and the sound can be taken, the reading will be directly measured. So the working of this is, when a sound waves hits the microphone, it causes a diaphragm to vibrate, and the microphone converts the energy in the sound into an electrical signal. When these signals reaches the electronic network, the network modifies the signal and then provide meaningful result. As a result, it is transmitted through a visual display for communication, and we are able to read the sound in decibels. Next is the noise control measures. So, noise is not only a nuisance but a serious environmental problem and a health hazard. So, the control of noise is very important. So, noise can be controlled by, first we can look into the controlling principles, that is to modify the source to reduce its noise output. That is source means from where the sound is released, we can modify and reduce the noise output. Then second one is to alter or to control the transmission path and the environment so as to reduce noise level reaching the recipient. Third one is to provide the receiver with the personal protective devices that can also cause. Then the measures are Noise control at the source. Major noise control measures are noise control at the source, noise control in the transmission part, then control at the receiver end. The noise control at the source includes provision of dampers and also vibration isolation. So these terms, that is noise dampers. Dampers means they are used to absorb the sound. The applicable for large vibrating surfaces. Damping is the process, or dampers are used for sound insulation, which works by extracting the vibration energy and dissipating it as a heat. So that is providing dampers. Rubber is an elastic damper. Example. Then vibration isolation. Both this damping and vibration isolation is one of the most important um, thing in the case of earthquake structures, where the buildings are subjected to earthquake loading. Therefore, at that time, dampers are installed in order to absorb the energy. Then vibration isolation is also a very important principle used in earthquake structures. That is, vibration isolation means that they prevents the transmission of vibration from a source to a receiver by introducing a flexible element or a physical break. Just mentioned above that dampers vibration isolation is that principle. Common vibration isolators are springs, rubber, mount, cork, etc. Materials used as springs, rubber, elastic. Rubber is an elastic damper which can reduce the vibration. Now, second one is the noise control in the transmission path. That is, noise in the transmission path can be reduced by using noise insulators, also noise absorbers. So noise absorbers and noise insulators, the most common materials in noise insulators which can be used as a soundproof material are brick, then thick glass, concrete, metal, etc. are the common material which have high density property and can absorb the sound. Then absorb or they can prevent the transmission of noise. Noise absorbers are different. They are porous material which acts as a noise sponge by converting the sound energy into heat within the material. The common sound absorption material include acoustic tiles, then open cell rubber foam or melamine sponges, etc. Now, control at the receiver end include for people working in the noise area, earplugs, noise helmets, headphones, etc. are to be provided to reduce the occupational exposure. Then doors and windows can be well sealed. Then ventilation opening should be provided with acoustic attenuators. Attenuators means they also reduce the energy when transmitted from one area to another. Then in loss of energy can be termed as attenuation. Innovative building design may also prevent or reduce the intrusion of noise. Then other noise control measures include zoning, urban planning, public education and awareness, also the planting of trees. Zoning means when it comes to urban areas, the area can be grouped into different zones so that unhealthy exposure of noise can be reduced, and also noise standards can be uh, followed in the areas, and based on that certain areas can be isolated. Then urban planning, it should be done with the long term planning to reduce the noise pollution. Third one is public education and awareness, that is social awareness programs must be conducted to educate the public about the causes and effects of noise pollution by conducting a campaign or by providing brochures or leaflets regarding the noise pollution, its harmful effects, etc. Then planting of trees and shrubs along the roads, hospitals, educational institutions, or can also reduce the noise to a considerable extent. The noise standards, the area code, the category of area, and the limitation in the sound is daytime and nighttime is given here. Industrial area, commercial area, residential area, silent zone. So the different limits are also mentioned. Daytime to nighttime timings are also given. Along this, we have already learned about the standards of noise. Uh, we have written the assignment on that. So that is about the noise standards. Thank you.